Yesterday we
Good
discussed
morning, sir.
about top-down approach, its advantages and disadvantages. Now we'll continue with the same, the bottom-up approach. What are its advantages and disadvantages? What are its advantages and disadvantages? Are you able to see the screen now? All of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, yesterday we discussed about this. The bottom up approach means first we meet the requirements of the employees, okay, or the users. Then we meet the next higher level. Then we meet the next higher level, and at last we will going to meet the top management. We are going to meet top management, okay, the requirements and implementation. In that way, from bottom to top, we will going to implement the requirements. Then what are its advantages? It is faster and easier for implementation of manageable pieces, because if there are five departments will be having the separate data marts, and each department is own database, like it acts like a own data warehouse of particular department. They are not integrated. They are not integrated. It is independent. MCA department's database is independent, and ENC's data mart is independent, and other departments data marts are independent. Got it? Hence, construction or building of such data mart is easier for implementation, and it is quicker, it is faster, because it is only a piece of data warehouse we are implementing for the sake of particular department. Got it? And second advantage is favorable return on investment and proof of concept. Means favorable return means you need not to invest much on that. You need not to invest much on that, because only a piece of data warehouse you are building, and it is a less risk of failure. In yesterday's top down approach, as we told, there is a risk of failure, but here there may be a risk, okay, but risk is very less. Risk is very less, because we know what exactly we need in the department. We are going to implement only that part. We are not thinking of the management. Got it? This is then inherently incremental. See here now. First we build our information, our data mart. Then we go for the next high level. We go for the increment. So we are thinking of the next as a next level for the principal, department to principal. Then we go for principal to management. Means in that way allows the project team to learn and grow. See here now, if few of them are building a project for this data mart for a particular department, what you will going to do? You will study that department completely, thoroughly. Okay, you will study that department thoroughly, and what you will do? You will grow what is that work, or you will go to build that, and you will grow that work, or increase that work, or extend that work for the next level. Extend that work for the next level. Got it? So these are the advantages of bottom up approach. Got it? And what are the disadvantages? The disadvantages of this bottom up approach are each data mart has its own narrow view of data. See here now, here in this bottom up approach, we are thinking narrow thinking means we are thinking only in the MCA department. We are thinking of other ENC data mart, who are building on that. Okay, they are thinking of only ENC department. They are not thinking of the next level. Okay, thinking will be very narrow. If you come from the top down approach, the thinking will be very wide. It is not narrow. Okay, from high level you are thinking. So the view will be more. Then permits a redundant data in every data mart. See here now. Same data, sometimes it will be there. Assume that you have a one management subject. Assume that you have a one management subject. Got it? Already your information is there in the MCA department data mart. All your information is maintained in our department data mart, and you have the one subject, management subject. For that subject you will be studying it in the which one? MBA department. So MBA department needs to, because they are teaching that subject, they are maintaining your information. They are maintaining your information again, because their data mart is independent and our data mart is independent. You cannot integrate. Same information which is there in our mart, okay, again it will be there in their mart. Assume that you have one electronics subject, electronics related subject. So again those electronics people, they need to maintain your database. Instead of fetching our information, they need to build your information again. See here now, your information is already there in the MCA department. Because you have one subject in management, those MBA people are also maintaining your database, and you also have one subject called this one ENC, okay, related subject. They also need to maintain that subject. If you have a subject called what is that, OR, operational research, then if you are the faculty from the mechanical department, if he or she is taking, then they need to maintain one more report of you people. See here now, duplicate information. The same information is kept stored in various departments, which is of no useful. Simply it consumes a lot of memory, right? Then next is inconsistent, irreconcilable data. Okay, inconsistent data means, as I told, sometimes the data which is here and the which is there at data warehouse are different. What we stored in the department is something, and what management looking at that data is different. Okay, we may not have some data or some information, some related field, okay, which may not be having in our department, which we have not stored, which the management required. Got it? So it is irreconcilable or inconsistent data. This is also one of the disadvantage. The next one is proliferates unmanageable interfaces. See, interfaces means we need to store, there is one interface we need for storage and retrieval. Okay, for that there is, because we are thinking of only our department. Got it? So principal may need a different level. He need not to register, and he need not to, if management wants, they need not to register for the your thing and etc etc. They need not to have a credentials etc. So only they look into reports, different reports. What the management are looking for, the reports are different. What the department head is looking, that report is different. Okay, so here also there is a problem. So these are the disadvantages of bottom up approach. These are the disadvantages of bottom up approach. When, see, in both the cases, top down approach as well as bottom up approach, there are some advantages in bottom up approach and there are some advantages in top down approach. There are some disadvantages in bottom up approach as well as top down approach. Okay, so which should be built first, we need to think of whether we should go for data mart first or data warehouse first. Got it? Again there is a question mark. Based on the requirements you take a call. Got it? Now this is all about bottom up approach and top down approach. Now the main thing, building blocks are components of a data warehouse. Which are the various building blocks of this data warehouse? One is source data, second one is metadata, data staging. Staging means which can, you are able to see it, pradarshana. Okay, so data staging, data storage, information delivery, all these are the components. See here now, which are those components? Let me write it here. Let me highlight. Okay, this is one source or this is a block which required to build a data warehouse. What you need, if you want to build a data warehouse, you need a source data. Okay, you need a source data. Which are the source data, etc. We will going to study it later. Then you need a data staging. You need a data staging. You need a data storage. You need a data storage. Then you need a metadata. You need a metadata. Then you need a management and control. You need management and control and information and delivery. Okay, see, these are the main components of or building blocks of data warehouse. See, whenever it is asked, it is very important with respect to examination, dear friends. Okay, this is very important with respect to examination. Okay, whenever this question is asked, explain various building blocks or of a data warehouse, or explain various components of data warehouse. That time you are able to draw this diagram and need to explain. Got it? See, which are those building blocks? Source data, management and control, metadata, data staging, data storage, and information delivery. Got it? These are the things. Now, let me explain on these things what exactly data building blocks or a components of a data warehouse. We have now seen the basic definitions and features of data warehouse and a data marts, and we discussed significantly about them. warehouse as well as data marts. Now, when we build an operational system, such as order entry, claims processing, or savings account, we put together several components to make up the system. See here now, if you want to build any system, we need what we need? We need a source system from where the information is coming. Got it? Several components. We put together several components to make up the one system. Not only input system, we need some storage system, we need some stacking system, we need some report kind of output seeing system, that is called as the information delivery system. We need source of data from where the source is coming, we need a metadata, we need a storage a block, and we need an information delivery system. Also, we need a control system which can control entire thing. All these put together, okay, we are able to make up the system. The front end component which consists of the GUI. GUI means graphical user interface, to interface with the users for the data input. See here now, whenever you fill your examination forms, online examination form, whenever you enter your credentials like username and password, what happens? You will get an interface. You will get one interface there. Through that interface, you are entering your information. Name so and so, university seat number so and so, class studying so and so, fees paying this much. Okay, and at last you will go to submit button. Got it? This, whatever you are able to see it on the screen for entering your information, that is called as graphical user interface, which will interface with the user for data input. The data storage component, once you enter the data, then that will be stored in the storage component. That includes database management system or Microsoft SQL Server, Informix, Oracle. Okay, there may be any data storage component. Once we entered, that data will be there in the storage component. That storage component also we need to build the data warehouse. Got it? Once you entered in the data a storage component, the display component is set to the screens and reports for the users. Okay, once it is stored, that has to be extracted, right? That has to be seen. Okay, if you want to see it, okay, that stored data, we can get it in the form of report, or we can get it in the form of as an information. How many students have filled the examination form? 20 students, 100 students, 1000 students, means that is an information. How many students have not failed to fill the examination form? These many students. This is the knowledge, or this is the information. So the data interfaces and the network software from the connectivity component. Not only these things, not only input, not only storage, not only output, we need some connectivity also. Because without the connection, without the connectivity from server to your device, okay, it is not possible to connect it. It is not possible to connect it. Sometimes servers are busy. So without the connectivity component, you are not able to do the, or you are not able to serve your purpose. So the network software from the connectivity component, depending on the information requirements and the framework for our organization, we arrange these components in the most optimum way. See, now as a team we are building a data warehouse. Now, depending on my requirements and my organization, so we organize the which are all required, which sources of data are required. There are set of sources of data. Which sources are required, which data stacking is required, means storage components are required, whether we need to go for data marts or directly data warehouse, which thing, or metadata, which are required. Okay, we decide ourselves, and which kind of connectivity is required, which type of connectivity is also required, and which kind of output you may expect. It is all depends on the requirements. It's all depends on the requirements. Got it? So we arrange all of these things as per our requirement, and we can go for building the data warehouse. These are the building blocks of data warehouse. Got it? Now we'll discuss one by one in detail about these things. Architecture is a proper arrangement of the components. We'll call it as architecture of data warehouse. What is that architecture? Architecture is nothing but it is a proper arrangement of the component. See, if you connect your information delivery system directly to the somewhere, instead of connecting it to the databases, if you connect it to somewhere like a data mart or somewhere in the data stacking, so it is proper connectivity? No. Where the metadata should be there, it has to be there in its place. Where are the data marts? How it is get connected to which part? Then it is also a proper connection is required. Got it? So this is what the proper arrangement of the components. Proper arrangement of the components is called as architecture. What is architecture? Architecture is the proper arrangement of the components. You build a data warehouse with software and hardware components. How can you build? You can build the data warehouse with software components as well as hardware components. These components should be arranged properly, connected properly. To suit the requirements of an organization, you arrange these building blocks. If it is a small organization, okay, which are the components you need? Okay, only you can go for that, and you can connect it properly, arrange them properly for the connection purpose. Got it? So you may want to lay a special emphasis on components. You may want a blaster of another component. So it is all dependent. These components are dependent. Best example I will tell you in this diagram, which shows the basic components of typical warehouse. It is a typical warehouse components. You see the source data component. See here now, these are the source data components. Which are those? Let me change the color. See, these are external, production, internal and archived. These are different sources. These are different sources. Different sources of data components. From where you can get the information, sources of data. Data is in the form of production department, from the internal department, internal structures, or archived, which are hidden, okay, from external sources. From where all you collect the data from different sources. The data stacking component serves as the next building block. This stacking, the data stacking component is the next next block. Okay, then you are having, what is that, in the middle you are able to see the data storage components. Here all these things, metadata, data warehouse and data marts, all these things are the what? Data storage components. All these things are the data storage components. Got it? So where the data is stored, metadata is a repository. Okay, so the other datas are come and sit in those places. Then next we have the information delivery system or information delivery component. This is information delivery component. Okay, so here the information delivery component on the right side, which consists of different ways of making the information from the data warehouse. See here now, using with the help of data mining, OLAP and report. So we are able to, I can access the information with the help of these tools, OLAP, repository report or query through query or data mining. Okay, these are all various information delivery systems. Hence, see here now, this is divided into different things. Let me show you here. So later we are going to explain these things. See, these are various data sources. Which are those? External, production, internal and archived. These are various data sources. And then we are having the data stacking. Data stacking means where how much of data is stored, how much of space is there. Okay, where you can from directly you can store all those data into this data stacking. Okay, then from here you can store these datas, okay, in storage components. These are various storage components. Which are those? It could be metadata, or it could be data warehouse, or it could be multi-dimensional databases, or it could be data marts. These are various data storage components. Then we are at the right side, we are having information delivery system. Information delivery system. Through this information delivery system, what exactly you need, you can access those things with the help of data mining or with the help of online analytical processing, means OLAP or report or queries. your data warehouse architecture is divided into these things. First we have a source data, we have a tagging, from source to tagging, then from this tagging to data storage, and which consists of data warehouse, metadata, multidimensional DBs, data marts, etc. Then from here we are having, what is that? Information delivery system. These all the things from source, data stacking, data storage, and metadata and information delivery, all these things controlled by this management and control system. Management and control system, which can control everything. Hope it is clear. Okay, whether you build a data warehouse for large manufacturing companies, okay, on the Fortune 500 list, means big 500 companies, leading grocery chain with the sources all over the countries. Example, you take more or DMart or this what is that, what do you call it as, Big Bazaar. Okay, it has a chain of branches, which has a chain of branches, stores all over the country, or some may be all over the globe. Okay, global banking, the basic components are same. Okay, for if you go for banking system also, you need these source of data, you need tagging, you need the metadata, data storage components, and you need an information delivery system. For grocery system also, for banking system also, you need, if you are building a data warehouse, these components are required. If you go for banking also, global banking also, you need these things. If you go for groceries, which is having a chain of branches which are spreaded over the countries, okay, which requires these components. See here now, but for banking you will be having a stronger, means you have given the more security features. For groceries, security features are not that much as the banking system. That is the only difference, but you required the same components. The various variations in the manner in which some of the blocks are made stronger. Stronger means you have given the strong features, strong security features. Got it? In the architecture. That is the only difference. Okay, now we'll look into each of them in detail. Got it? We'll look of them into in detail. Now, what is this? A source data component. We'll look into source data component. Which are those source data component? External, production, internal, and archived. These are the various sources from where we are getting the information, where we are getting the data, These are the various sources. Which are those? External, production, internal, and archived. These are the various sources. See here now, source data coming into the data warehouse may be grouped into four broad categories. Four broad categories. Which are those? Production data, internal data, archived data, and external data. Okay, production data, internal data, archived data, and external data. Now, which are those? What are those production data? Internal, what are this source component? This category of data comes from the various operational systems of the enterprise. See, let me explain. Operational system means and data warehouse. Let me explain it here. Let me. Yesterday I think I have explained on this. I throw light on that. Let me explain. See here now, Assume that this is a database operational system. This is also one operational system, and this is a data warehouse. This is a data warehouse. Now assume that it is an architecture of the big bazaar. Okay, see, now it is the branch from Pune. It is a big bazaar branch which is located at Pune, and here this one is located at Belgaum. This one is located at the Belgaum. Now see, Kiran will go to Pune and he will purchase something. Okay, whenever you purchase a single item, a small pin also, your information will be stored in the operational database. This is called as the operational database. This is also operational database. Now another person will come and he will also purchase something, and his information, what product he has purchased, what is your name, etc., etc., all the things, whatever you do the transactions, that will be stored in the operational database. Similarly, who are doing such kind of transactions in the Belgaum branch, that is also stored in the BZM operational database. Got it? Means here you are having the day-to-day transactions. Current data, you will be having current data, fresh data you will be having in these operational databases. Assume that every end of the day, or every end of the week, or every end of the month, you are transferring all the information which is there in the operational database. Okay, so this is called as operational database. These are operational databases. These two are operational databases. From these operational databases, you are transferring all the information into this data warehouse. Assume that you are transferring every end of the day, or every end of week, okay, or fortnight, or once in a month. Okay, so here that information will be stored in the data warehouse. Here this is the historic data or a fast data, but here it is in the operational databases. This data will be current data, fresh data. Okay, so whatever you do the transaction, single transaction, all that data will be keep on adding into this operational databases. Got it? This is what the operational database is. Got it? Now, based on the information requirements in the data warehouse, you choose a segments of data from the different operational systems. What do? You choose the segments of data. From this, I need information related with the grocery. I need information related with this grocery. I am not interested in other transactions. I am interested in only grocery. Okay, only that thing. While leading with this data, you come across many variations in the data formats. You also notice that a data reside on different hardware platforms. Further, data is supported by different database systems and operating systems. This data from many vertical applications. What happens here? This is probably runs with different operating system. This is running with different operation systems. This platform is Oracle. Here it is other platform they are using. Okay, but we are getting the transactions. Data stored in this is different format and data stored in this is different format, because they are having different formats for data storage. Okay, this kind of thing. In operational systems, information queries are narrow. You query operational systems for information about the specific instance of business objects. You may want just the name and address of the single customer. See here, as I told here, the information who made the transaction, Kiran's, only Kiran's information is also there, and other person who is also there. So each and every transactions, if you purchase for 10,000 rupees, it is also there. If you purchase something of which you paid it for only 1 rupees, that information is also there. Got it? So this is what, again, you do not expect a particular query to run across the different platforms. A term like an account may have a different management in different systems. Here what happens, different accounts may be having different managements. Got it? This is what one type of things in the production data. In the internal data, every organization, users keep their private spreadsheet, documents, customer profiles, and sometimes even department databases. This is internal data. Internal data means users keep their private spreadsheet. Okay, so what they will do, they will list out some of the important customers information, or some who are giving the info, what do you call it as, where they are getting the datas, or where they are getting the products. Their information is kept separately. Okay, privately it is stored. That information is stored in the spreadsheet, or in some documents, or customer profiles, or in the form of sometimes even departmental databases. You can store their data. Internal data means secret, or some internal, for who are all my vendors. Okay, this vendor is giving something to me, or supplies. Okay, he is supplying something, some products, he is supplying some products. All such, their information is kept somewhere. Where you have kept? In spreadsheet, or in what is that? Their own databases, or in some documents, or you have created some this. This is internal data parts which could be useful, in the data warehouse. Got it? They may be required. Okay, that can be, it is also one of the source. Now, next one is archived data. What is this archived data? The operational systems are primarily intended to run the current business. Now, if this operational database is not working, means this Big Bazaar is closed. BGM branch Big Bazaar is closed, because that database is not working. Is it clear now? Their operational systems are required to run the business. Got it? So in every operational system, you periodically take the old data and store it in the archived files. What do you do? All today's transactions, what do? You take all today's transactions, you keep it in some archived files. Okay, archived files, which is publicly, it is not visible. publicly it is not visible. Then day to day information, this is today's, and this information is yesterday's. This is yesterday's archive file, and this is day before yesterday's archive file. Like this, all assume that once in 7 days or once in a week you are transferring these archive files into this data warehouse. Daily you are transferring these informations into archived files. These into archived files. Got it? This is today's, this is yesterday's, and this is third day and fourth day, fifth day, sixth day, seventh day. After seventh day, you are transferring all your information into the next level. Periodically, you take old data. Old data means already transactions has done in the database. Got it? And store it in the archived files. The circumstances in your organization dictate how often and which portions of the operational databases are archived for storage. So how much data you will go to take? All the data, or only sales department, or the only employee information, which, okay, you have to segregate those and store it in the archived data. So archived files, these are also called as what? Sources of data. Many different method for archiving exists. There are stages, archived methods. At the first stage, recent data is archived to the separate archived database that may still online. Okay, there are different stages of archiving. Okay, you need not to worry about those in detail, but archived means whatever the transactions will take place in the operational database. From those operational database, you take old data periodically. Periodically means once in a day, twice in a day, or 2 days once in 2 days, like this. Okay, so if you set it for every end of the day, so every end of the day, that databases, whatever the part you have selected, that will be stored in the archived files. Got it? So this is, so data warehouse keep historical snapshot of data. So this will store, data warehouse will keep the snapshot. This is one snapshot. This is one snapshot of historical data. This is complete one snapshot of entire day transaction. This is the another snapshot of second day transaction. Got it? Like this, you will be having a data warehouse will want to store all the snapshots, different snapshots of historical data. Then external data. What is that external data? The most executive depends on the data from the external sources for a high percentage of information they use. They use statistics relating their industry product produced by external agencies. They use a standard value of financial indicators for their business to check on the performance. Example, if you see the examples for external data, a data warehouse of a car rental company. If you take a car rental company is there, okay, they are maintaining the data warehouse, okay, which contains the data on the current production schedules of leading automobile manufacturing. Okay, they are maintaining the information about the manufacturing companies, Ford, okay, Volkswagen, Tata, then Hyundai, then Maruti, etc. Okay, they are maintaining all. These are not related to them. These are because to run that, okay, they are leading, they are maintaining other external datas. The datas of, because where I am running the automobile company, okay, which rental purpose, okay, I need to run the cars. Okay, rental purpose. I'll be having the external data like I'm having the data of Ford company. I'm having the data of Maruti Suzuki. I'm having the data of Toyota. I'm having the details of data of Tata, Hyundai, etc. See, all these are external data which I am storing it to run my business. To run my business. See, these are all called various data sources. Okay, these are the components, source data components. Hope you understood source data components. Is there any doubt here? Any doubts? Hello?
No, sir.
Yeah. Any doubts?
No, sir.
No doubt.
No, sir.
Okay. See, tomorrow we're going to see other components, data tagging. What is that? The next one is uh, information delivery systems. Okay, metadata and control and management system. Other parts, other components we're going to discuss in next class. Got it? This is very important thing with respect to examination. I want to discuss in detail about this building blocks of the data warehouse in detail in the next class. Thank you. Okay, take care. Bye bye. See you.